Even though I wanted children, I've been enduring it all because of you. You're defective."
My husband, whom I've been with for 20 years, said words that hurt me deeply. I can't continue with him anymore. He's already lost in thoughts of a new marriage. God must have been watching over me for such devilish deeds. That's why my husband did what he did. My name is Angela. I'm 45 years old. I work as an office clerk at a law firm. It's almost been 20 years since I married my husband. We've lived modestly together. We truly wanted children, but it didn't happen. The problem was mostly on my side. While working, I went through treatments, exhausting both my physical and financial resources, but it didn't work out. When I turned 40, I decided to give up. My husband wanted children until the end and asked me to continue treatments, but I reached my limit. Enduring the pain while only seeing our money decrease, that situation was tough. After all, they say we needed $200,000 for retirement savings. I felt it would be wasteful to pour more money into fertility treatments. Should we stop treatment and live together as a couple? Since we don't have children, let's save money or indulge in a slightly luxurious trip. I suggested it, and my husband, thought with a hesitant expression, agreed. After that, we decided to enjoy life as a couple. Still, when I see photos of children on TV shows or Christmas cards, I feel complex emotions inside. Even now, 5 years after stopping treatment, I still carry feelings of guilt and inadequacy for not being able to have children. One day, I ended up attending a high school reunion after about 10 years. My husband suggested I take it easy sometimes, so I decided to stay overnight near the venue. It felt like a mini vacation. Come to think of it, I've rarely gone out alone since getting married. I was mostly preoccupied with infertility treatments. It's okay to indulge occasionally, right? And when I arrived at the venue, I enjoyed chatting with old friends. "Angela, long time no see. How have you been? Have you lost some weight?" "Certainly, I've lost about 22 pounds in the past 10 years. "I'm so jealous. I've gained 33 pounds since getting married and having children." Even in a trivial conversation with my friend, I feel a slight pang in my chest. "Angela, what about children?" "Yeah, it didn't happen. It's just my husband and me." "Sorry for asking something weird." "Nah, it's fine. Come on, let's enjoy ourselves." I behaved cheerfully to avoid creating a gloomy atmosphere. "Speaking of which, the other day my son fell victim to marriage fraud." "Huh? Fraud?" I widened my eyes at the words of my classmate. "Yeah, it was like that. Well, it was attempted fraud. Before getting married, he was asked for money, about $20,000. "Huh? What happened then?" "Since my son couldn't pay $20,000, he came to us, his parents, for advice, and that's how it was discovered. Eventually, the woman disappeared without a trace." That's a scary story. There are some unbelievable women out there. It's truly terrifying. Marriage fraud, huh? I'm a little surprised that something like this could happen so close to home. It seems like her son has now found a new girlfriend, and the parents are relieved. The class reunion proceeded smoothly and soon came to an end. I didn't go to the after party. Instead, I returned to the hotel and enjoyed a drink alone. Come to think of it, I haven't contacted my husband. It's only 10 p.m. He should still be awake. I called home, but no matter how many times I rang the doorbell, my husband didn't answer. Maybe he's already asleep. Well, it's not a problem since I'm going back tomorrow anyway. But I had a strange feeling. Is this what they call a woman's intuition? I had a bad feeling for some reason. Since then, my husband's been coming home extremely late on weekdays, and he started coming home drunk almost every night.
"Hey, I'm home."
"You? What have you been drinking? Are you okay?" My husband was drunk, and as soon as he took off his shoes, he was sprawled out in the living room.
"Shut up! Stop nagging! Show more respect."
What is there to respect in such a sloppy outfit? I pick up my husband's discarded socks and shirt while silently making sarcastic remarks in my mind.
"Luna was so cute. If only you were as young as Luna."
My husband says such a thing. Who is Luna? What does he mean by, if only you were young? When I tried to question him, my husband was already in deep sleep. Could he possibly be cheating? The feeling of unease I had that day was becoming uncertain. No, my husband is a tough guy. He couldn't possibly do such a thing. It must be just drunken nonsense, right? I kept reassuring myself like that. But my husband keeps going out early in the morning and coming home late at night. Even on weekends.
I'm going out for a bit.
Okay, see you later. And as usual, he comes back drunk every time. Almost every week, it becomes difficult enough for even me to intervene. Lately, it seems like you're going drinking almost every day. Are you okay financially?
Shut up. What I do with my money is none of your business. It's my savings from when I was single.
But you should save at least a little for retirement, shouldn't you?
Why don't you save for it then?
I've already spent quite a bit on fertility treatment.
Well, that's because you were a defective, right?
Even though he's drunk, I can't believe he talks like that. I have started to notice my husband's changes little by little. Is it because I have become meaner since I stopped treatment? My husband was making more and more ridiculous comments about me.
Since you can't have kids, you should show me more gratitude in return.
I felt my affection for my husband diminishing as he wasted money and behaved selfishly. He used to praise me and support me during the difficult times of treatment. Will that type of husband ever come back? What even is a marriage? 20 years have passed, and I'm starting to think about these things. But then, things suddenly started to change.
Angela, we need to talk.
When I return from work, my husband is sitting on the living room sofa with a serious expression. What? This sounds serious.
I want a divorce.
What? Are you kidding me? Why all of a sudden? I never even dreamed that my husband was considering divorce. While I did think we needed to reconsider things as a couple, I never thought about divorce. But did my husband think about divorce before I did? Why divorce all of a sudden? I asked my husband for the reason. We've been married for 20 years, haven't we? Let's talk things through properly. But my husband has been looking at me with disdain.
You really are clueless, aren't you?
With a heavy sigh, my husband glares at me. Huh? What do you mean?
Look, I've wanted kids for the past 20 years, but I ended up with someone like you, a defective product. I've been robbed of the opportunity to be a parent. Have you ever considered my feelings?
He says all this while tapping the table condescendingly. But when we decided to stop the treatment, we talked about it together.
I wasn't convinced at all. I've been wanting kids all along.
Why didn't you tell me that then? I felt so sad and frustrated that tears were about to overflow.
Well, if you divorce me, I won't say anything more. Quietly sign the divorce papers for me.
Saying so, my husband hands me the divorce papers on the table.
I've actually already decided to move on with my life.
Move on? You mean remarry?
Yeah, with a 20-year-old girlfriend.
Girlfriend? What do you mean? Are you cheating?
There's no way I'd do something like that. We're already planning to register our marriage right after we divorce.
He says so proudly. A 20-year-old girl marrying my husband? It's unthinkable.
Luna is kind, cute, and the ideal wife. Unlike you.
Luna, the name my husband mentioned that day. My woman's intuition is not to be underestimated. I admired myself a little bit, but this is no time for self-admiration. And then, my husband shows me a photo of his cute Luna. Looking at it closely, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. Is this a joke? I can't believe something like this is happening.
What's so funny?
My husband notices my change, but I quickly regain my composure. I felt it was too early to reveal the truth, so I immediately put on a solemn expression.
Yeah, so you really want kids, huh? Well, you can't have any, can you? There's no helping that, right? You'll divorce me, won't you?
Yeah, I guess there's no other choice. I put on a slightly exaggerated sad expression. When he brought up divorce, I was indeed saddened. But considering my husband's stupidity, divorcing him immediately seemed like the right thing to do. Yeah, it's probably better to break up with someone like him sooner rather than later. I felt like even God was telling me the same thing, so I signed the divorce papers and left my husband. He'll probably regret it soon enough. Well, I'll just watch over him for a little while. And about a year after the divorce...
Angela, help me.
A disheveled man approached me as I was returning from work. Who are you? I was genuinely perplexed as I didn't recognize him.
It's me, Angela. I need your help.
It was my ex-husband. He was technically a stranger now, but he was still my ex. Long time no see. I couldn't hide my surprise at my ex-husband's transformation. He looked disheveled and unkempt.
Please, can you introduce me to your company lawyer?
What? I can't just do that on short notice. Apparently, my ex was in financial trouble, I heard. I had imagined it to some extent from his appearance, but I never expected him to change so drastically in just 1 year. Well, the first consultation is free, but...
Free?
But if you hire the lawyer, there will be legal fees.
I don't have that kind of money. Please, help me.
What on earth happened? I reluctantly decided to listen to my ex-husband's story at a nearby cafe.
Actually...
Before my ex-husband could speak, I said, "Did that woman, Luna, ditch you?"
How did you know?
As expected. When my ex showed me a photo of the woman he didn't want me to know about, it clicked. The woman in the photo looked exactly like the woman who had cheated a classmate's son at a school reunion. During the reunion, that classmate was showing the photo of that woman to various people, saying, "I can't forgive this woman." I remember her saying the name was something like Amy, and she was about 20 years old. Well, most likely even the name was fake. Of course. The one deceiving wouldn't use their real name, right?
How do you know about Luna?
Well, I kinda knew. So, what happened? When I asked for more details from my husband, here's what he said. It seems he met a girl named Luna at a gentleman's club about a year ago. As my husband desired children, he kept mentioning it in their conversations. Then, according to him, "If it's me, I can give birth to a child for you." She offered to help him with that. And gradually their relationship deepened. During weekdays, my husband frequented the club, and on weekends they went on dates outside and then returned to the club. He ended up spending $10,000 from his savings from his single days.
However, Luna is kind and doesn't demand expensive things even during dates outside the club or when she's drinking at the club. She's not like the notorious girls you often hear about. She says she doesn't need luxury brands or jewelry, just drinks at the club are enough. She was a hard-working and honest girl.
We never touched each other's savings from our single days, so I didn't notice anything at all. Well, it's his money, so I thought he could spend it however he liked. But to spend such a large amount. And finally, Luna showed her true colors.
She wants to get married, but she has debts. So she needs to repay them. It's about $20,000.
Then my husband promised to pay off her so-called debts and transfer the money. Although they started living together immediately after our divorce, Luna was doing night work. She rarely came home. And then she quit her job and disappeared. Of course, she ran off with the money. How foolish can one be? I feel so ashamed that I've been married to someone like this for 20 years. But what about the loan agreement?
Loan agreement?
When I asked, my husband looked puzzled. You lent her money, right? Didn't you?
We're married, so there's no need for that.
Huh? So does that mean you gave her the money?
Is that so?
In this case, it means you generously gave Luna $20,000. This woman must be quite cunning. If the gift exceeds $17,000 per year, a gift tax is applied. Depending on the circumstances, the received item may be subject to taxation, so Luna disappeared after receiving only $20,000 in cash, not other things. And it was split into 2 payments over the span of a year. That way, it wouldn't exceed the $17,000 annual limit, so no tax would be incurred. My husband thought she was just a good girl who never asked for expensive things because she was good-natured, but she must have been knowledgeable about the law.
So what should I do?
Maybe you should consult a lawyer? Well, it will cost money to hire one, though. When I said that, my husband sighed deeply.
I've used up all my savings for my single days, and my beloved left me. I can't say I'm dead broke after already telling my company about getting remarried. I even bragged about getting a young wife.
It's just desserts, isn't it? That's what I thought, but I didn't say anything to my husband, who looked so pitiful.
Angela, it's my fault. Please, come back. I realized it after you were gone. You were the only one who cared about me. I don't need children anymore, and I'll let you do what you want. You must have been lonely too, right?
Does my husband still think I love him? Our relationship ended in my heart 6 months ago. So, I confronted reality. Why are you bringing this up a year later? Isn't it too late for regrets now?
Are you going to abandon me, Angela?
And didn't you initiate the breakup in the first place?
Angela, you're the only one I can rely on.
My husband seemed utterly exhausted. I decided to extend my hand to him just a little. Oh well, shall I call a friend who's a lawyer?
Angela, thank you. You still care about me after all.
My husband was moved to tears. And then we went to a cafe where my company's lawyer, Samuel, was waiting.
Angela, over here. Angela, who's this?
Oh, I know him. He seems to be in a bit of trouble.
Is that so? Nice to meet you, I'm Samuel.
My ex-husband seemed suspicious of our unexpectedly close relationship. We've been seeing each other for 6 months now. By the way, what was the consultation about? When I said that, my ex-husband seemed completely bewildered.
I think I'll leave it here for today.
With a start, my husband snapped out of it and fled as if running away. In the end, my husband had no money to ask the lawyer for help and ended up crying himself to sleep. Rumors are circulating at his company that he's a pitiful person who was abandoned by his partner and ignored by his ex-wife without even having the money to seek legal advice. The world is truly small. I never imagined that someone from my husband's company would be at that cafe, listening to our conversation from start to finish. I heard through the grapevine that he's desperately looking for a new partner because he's afraid of spending his old age alone.
Who was that person?
Later, Samuel asked me about it, and I told him everything. I'm sorry for causing you trouble. The truth is...
Oh, I see. Angela, you've been through a lot.
Me telling Samuel that I was dating him was a blatant lie. I asked for a favor and had him play along. I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay. I'm glad I could help. Do you have plans after this?
Huh?
If you're okay with it, how about having a meal together?
I couldn't have imagined such a turn of events, and I found myself flustered. Starting over in my mid-40s. Not a bad beginning at all. Yes, I'd love to. I felt like an exciting future was waiting for us. I couldn't shake that feeling.